Okay, hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jinesh. Some of you might already know me, some of you don't know me. I think this is going to be my first video, and this is basically a channel for people who are getting their first hands on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera and trying to take a photo shoot basically. So my channel and my videos will be telling you and teaching you stuff like how to get such pictures, how to create images that are appealing to a lot of people out there, you know? So I'm planning a series of videos like these, which are going to cover most of the aspects of photography, not just on a photographer's perspective, but also from a client's perspective. So you will be seeing me with a couple of guests around who will be also talking about more of their experiences while doing photo shoots and stuff like that. We will be starting from top, from the concepts or a reference photo or something like that, and then going down to how to direct a photo shoot, and then coming down towards to how to edit the images and how to go about it. So it won't be just about talking about the photography aspects of it, but also the technical aspects like post-processing and stuff like that. How do you deliver, things like that. So these are all important when you're talking about stuff like this. Starting with this video, we'll be having Reshma Rajan, Big Boss celebrity from India. Been in contact for a couple of shoots, and she's almost like a close friend of mine. Let's welcome Reshma. I think she should be down her building right now. I'm gonna pick her up. I'm just gonna give her a call in case she's not down here. Okay, so we have Reshma with us. After 2 or 3 minutes of calling her and waiting for her, she's finally here.
No, that's because yesterday you made me wait, so that
Yeah, my mistake. It's all my mistake.
So today I made him wait.
It's all my mistake. I made her wait yesterday. Not just yesterday. Yeah,
we cancelled the plan for the show.
Yeah, many times we had been postponing this. So finally we are here, and we're gonna talk about photography again. So I've already told you who is Reshma Rajan and things like that, but I think Reshma is going to give you another view of who she is, and she's going to tell you what she's been doing and things like that. Let's hear it from her.
So I don't know what he gave my intro as, so like
no, I gave proper ones.
and then that will do. Actually, basically, right now I'm into modeling and into whatever that comes across my way. But what I'm qualified to do is like I'm a diamond grader. Also, I used to work as a lecturer, which I would like to like pursue after a certain amount of time. Which is why we thought like we'll do the video. When he asked me like whether I'm interested in doing it, I was like okay, fine, because everyone is like asking, even me, even him, those who are into like modeling, the models or like the photographers, everyone is like asking, the newbies or like the ones who want to like get into it, they are actually like curious how to do it, what to do it, in what way or which way to do it. This is actually a disclaimer, because like whatever that we are giving the input, it's not like the very expert or professional advice that you have to only be like doing in this way, or like this is the only way to do it. Like this has worked for us, or maybe like we know it's from our experience, or like from our friend circle, or what we have heard of, or like what we have experienced. So this could come in handy for like very new beginners, like or else for whom
whoever basically wants to jump into this industry as a newbie, as a beginner, wants to know how to start things, you know, how to start a conversation with a photographer or a model, things like that. Where do you start? You know, don't take it as it is, you know, as what we say. Take it with a bit of salt, you know, so that it's more of what you feel at that point that is more important. So yeah, so this is where we're going to start with. So basically we have a couple of questions from you guys, people who follow me and her through Instagram, through other media platforms.
The first question is how to start a conversation on your first shoot.
Yeah, that is the most asked question to me.
So it's not like you start a conversation on the day of the shoot.
Yeah.
There's like parts and bits that happen before that.
For that, yeah.
From the time that you approach a model, like
Yeah.
when a photographer approaches a model,
Yeah.
from that point you're actually talking to that person. So introduction and a bit of everything is like important there.
Yeah.
Because if you need a replay back, you really need to like impress a person, or like you will need to be, or like you will need to be that talented that you, once you see the message, you'll be like, okay, fine, I need to work, I need to replay.
Yeah.
That's the point. Or like, how do you approach?
To me, the first thing is be the most pleasant guy in that
In the entire world.
Yeah. So being the most pleasant guy makes you already in a comfort level, you know, like people are gonna be really chilled out with you, you know, as you approach them. So just be as genuine as possible and try to talk to them, try to understand how was their day, how was things going around, you know, what they've been doing. The models usually have a lot of schedules, so they might be working hard during the whole schedule, so you might have to ask them what was their previous work. Maybe you can look at the previous work and talk to them, how do they capture those images and things like that. So it's always about striking that conversation, you know, trying to get them to talk so that they are in ease mode rather than being in a nervous mode. So these are the things that you need to be looking into when you're directly in contact with the model. So when it comes to a shoot, you have to make sure that they are okay with your perspective, your concept, your visualization, things like that. So as a director of photography, you have to be in control of what's happening on the set and on the location, things like that. So if you have one thing off your head, like getting a nervous model running around in your set, that is one less thing to be worried about, you know.
Actually, there would be that tensed or anxious models, because all the girls that I've come across, or even boys in general, like you know, any models I've come across, basically they'll have they are crowd friendly. They're not actually scared or like very introvert, but there are people who are like some people there are like they'll do wonderfully when they are briefed, but then they'll be like really tense before that, how to talk to the people when they're like given instructions and all. So there are two types of people or two opposite concepts or anything if we talk about it. So it's not like we can give one common answer to this question.
There are different types of
just
people.
Be confident, be genuine, be friendly. Don't be so arrogant and like, you know, I'm so and so, if you're interested, reply me back. Nobody is going to reply you back in that case, or else you have to be like the topmost person who everyone would be like loving to work with you. So be really like down to earth, not very in a respectable way. Talk to people like in a very respectable way. That is really appreciated, like over appreciated actually.
Yeah, because they are giving up their time and they have gone through a lot of routines to be ready for that shoot at that point. Basically, they might have had a lot of their skincare routines, or maybe some nerve-wracking other kinds of routines which I don't know
workouts,
diets and stuff like that. They go through a lot. You doing
to that costume on that particular day, so everything for that is like important.
So for them, it's a lot of preparations compared to a photographer. For them, there is a lot more to prepare into and get into the mood and things like that. So mentally, what they are going to be, they will be showing that on their face and in their body language and stuff like that. So if you are at ease with them, or if you are very friendly with them and the model is eased out, then you're going to get beautiful images coming up. This is specifically when I had called Reshma out for our first shoot for I believe you all have seen it, the Tambrati series that I call it. She liked the concept, and I was happy that she accepted it. We talked about the concept earlier, prior to that shoot and all.
We discussed about jewelry. We discussed.
We discussed about a lot of things. I had couple of pictures. I sent that to her. She was liking those pictures. Then we talked about what to wear, what kind of dress, what kind of color shade should be. We talked about a lot more about the how to pose and things like that, because being in that role, because you're giving a traditional Indian woman, in Kerala woman, and she has to feel in a certain way to be in that postures and all. So it was immensely nice images that, and to me it was much more pleasing, because whatever I worked on it have come out good, and people were accepting it, and a lot of shares and I think on her page people were just raving about it and talking about how good she looks in sari and things like that, and that was the whole process that we went through. But
that's because everyone actually did not have an idea that I am from Pakka Mallu girl or anything.
Oh really?
At that time I never used to disclose anything about my identity in the page or anything. So all of a sudden there was this this set sari, and then there was a Malayalam song, Malayalam titles going on with that. So I was like, okay, fine, that's, and I you look really good, because everyone used to think you look good in that dress, you look good in this dress, and they'll be doubtful whether this girl can look good in both or not. So once they started seeing me in sari, after that, whenever I upload a picture in very modern dress or anything, even there will be some people who come and still say that you should do sari shoots, so that was the starting for all this, that one particular shoot.
And that's how you start all these shoots and processes and stuff like that. So I hope I've helped out some of you guys understand how to plan for a shoot, and there's a lot more, not just this. I was lucky because Reshma was doing it, and it was all kind of easy for me, but there are difficult ones also where you need to make and explain the model, what the concept is going to be like. You might have to send some reference photos, videos. I usually look up movies and all where I know that this posture, this frame, it looks awesome, let's do something like this. I hope it explains all of that, and if you want to add to the last bit of that.
No, when you talked about the references that you can send it across for making it easy, but I would suggest that can be the last step to do, because first let it sink into the mind of the model, she could put in her own effort, or maybe it will be easier for her to find something out of herself, or else if you send a reference, it's gonna be something made or taken out of it. So it's going to be a replica in some sort or the other. So references can be the last bit that you can send to a model for a shoot. But there are people who send with references from the initial stages that this is what we want. Then it's okay, fine. But if you're actually going for a concept shoot, then the concept shoot, the references can be the last thing. When you're going before the shoot, you can be okay, these are the things. If you want to refer, you can, or maybe you can go free and buy your own.
It's up to you. It's your creative freedom where you want to start those kind of conversations. That's totally up to you. But as she said, some people prefer it at the last, so that they have the creative freedom to think on their own and then come up with a mindset. So it's up to the model as well. So it's up to you how you start a conversation to where you end up starting those shoots and where you end up talking about concepts and things like that. So it's all up to that moment where you are and things like that.
Because if I get to see a picture, I'll be thinking everything from different angle for the same picture. So the creative thing that you mentioned will be literally lost in it. So it will be better if we are supposed to do something, and if it did not come up to the mark, or if it's going beyond whatever that is the idea of that person, you can just bring the person closer with showing a reference, this is what something we are looking for, so you can just then a little or like
that's
adjust.
Yeah, it's always like it's always to and fro. You have to communicate. If you don't communicate, you're not getting anywhere with that. So that's basically it. How the next question is how to be confident about your shoot. Yeah.
Taking wild portraits.
Wild portrait, taking portraits. Okay, so confidence is something you have to build on your own. There's no way anyone can teach you any of that. It's really hard. Coming from my perspective, it has to be flowing naturally. There's no other way of faking it or coming up with something or a technique or something like that. There's nothing like that. You have to be confident on your own perspective. You have to be genuine. As long as you're genuine, you'll be confident. That's what I feel. Most of the time, stick to the truth. Stick to what is reality.
Sometimes, being genuine would not help because, the person that you are might not be that what they want as in the result. So sometimes you really want to like change your entire personality to fit into something. So, right.
Yeah, that's from a model's perspective.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, you're talking about photographer's perspective.
From a photographer's perspective, it's not required because models, they have to enact what is given to them. So they have to go through a little bit of confidence breakage here and there to come up with that kind of postures and looks and stuff like that. So for them, it's a bit more tricky, but I think all of them are good at that, and they can really bring out the results whenever they feel like doing it.
To that, from a model's perspective, how to be confident while taking portraits, you can practice it a couple of poses, because portraits, whichever shoot that you go, a photographer would ask for portrait. So even if it's necessity or not, also he would ask it. So be confident enough and practice that beforehand. It would come in handy for any shoot. And since it's your upper body, like in your head and hair and shoulders and hands, you can learn few poses like how to utilize your hands and your face to come in that same posture, and also do which side looks better or which shows your body shape better. All that can be like taken in as tips for this. That's the only thing you have to be confident about while taking portraits. Also be confident about smiling. If they don't want a smiling photo, or they want a little bit of attitude or anything, practice that and go, so that it will not come as a shock to you when they ask you to give whatever they need. That's it.
Yeah, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. The next question is, does your spouse or family support you and the craft? So basically, it's the question is that how do you deal with your spouse or your family members knowing that what you're doing, maybe this is not what they expected you to be in? Especially my family, they expected me to be in something else. My dad wanted me to become a civil engineer, and I became an aviation engineer. And then
you became an engineer.
And then I ended up doing photo shoots, and so basically, so I make my family understand. I have a wife and 2 kids. I make them understand what all things I go through, and then they see the struggle that I'm putting to get these quality stuff out. So when they see that, they know that you're genuine about it. So they're happy about that.
Yeah. So my family, it was not like they were supportive enough in the initial stages or anything, but then, as I mentioned, since I was okay to travel alone, go for shoots alone, come back I was safe. At the same time, I was alone also. So they were skeptical about that in the initial stages, but then I was not staying with them, so they don't know about all the shoots or where I'm traveling. Just they have an idea of where I am, what I'm doing, but then they don't know about each and everything or anything. But then once you start, gaining respect from the field, what in whatever that you're doing, then they will realize and recognize, okay, she's actually doing pretty good, so it's okay, fine. Right now, they don't actually have a problem with that, and even if I find a spouse, I'll find a person who respects me, so that he will have to respect the profession that I am at, so all problems solved.
So the next question, do you feel fear or anxiety while meeting new people?
Not actually, because I am very friendly person. I can just go and talk to anyone. I am like that. But at the same time, if it's for some sort of interview or something, and if I'm not prepared, then I might be like a little bit anxious and tensed a bit. But as far as I know, even the much more bigger and important interviews that I've cracked, it's all like I was really cool, because even if I'm tensed in the starting, like when they go and they give the brief intro and everything, at that time I might be like having a fear inside me, like deep inside me, but after me starting to talk for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I am like just going on with the flow. But for the people who actually like are really tensed, I don't know what advice to give just to improve on yourself.
No, if you know that you will have a bad time meeting people and introducing yourself or getting that flow up in the start itself, try to talk to them earlier, like one day or something like that. Try to meet them at a cafe or talk to them on the phone.
Maybe like talk over phone and then go to meet that person.
Yeah, if you don't want to meet them in first hand, like today's a shoot, you're going to meet them suddenly. That if it doesn't work for you in that manner, try to meet them a day early at a cafe or somewhere where you are comfortable, maybe at your home or somewhere where you're comfortable, and then try to get into that mood. If you have at least one person trying to understand that what you go through, then it's fine and easy. Yeah, that's what I feel happens most of the time.
Because will anyone want to like work with a person who is really shy? That's going to be like
no, I know people who are shy and very introvert and stuff like that, but when they see the camera lens, they are totally a different person.
There are people like that also. Yeah.
I've seen people like that also. So it's up to you. You have to get into that water and test it out, and then decide what you need to do. Without testing it out, you will never know. That's what I feel. Yeah. Next question: collabs or paid work? What do you prefer?
I think in my stage right now, I would say paid work, because I've done enough of collabs and I'm done with experimenting and experiencing things right now. I know what I want and where I am heading, because I'm all, when you are like going for collabs, it's again and again. There might be the photographer also might be like not a very well experienced person. They might have gained that person also for a collab. So the effort that you have to put there might be not that much. So
exactly,
I might not be growing again after a certain point.
Yeah, but collabs are good for people who are new and they gain experience, get some portfolio. Yeah. And then onwards, they shouldn't be looking for collabs.
Once you feel like you are set, end with the collabs.
Yeah.
There might be a certain period of time where there is a gap in your thing, because it's a shift from the paid collab to the paid. So there might be a small gap in your career. So but that's okay. Once that stage is over, you might be like receiving calls and
that stage is hard.
If they know that you are good for something and they are calling you for a collab, and if you're not willing to work for a free shoot, they will eventually start paying you. But if you go because they called you, next time also they're gonna call you and they're not gonna pay you. So
let's go in with the next one. How did you know you can be a model?
Okay. Should I describe it like a story?
No Ramayanas and Mahabharatas.
Because he has done enough of that.
Yeah. I've been talking to him, and I should stop doing that. So my next video will be very brief.
How did I know that I can be a model? Because everyone wants to be like good looking in their photos and everything, and when I was in my like college days and all, like there was nothing, no social media, or anywhere, like you can just go and approach a photographer and like get it. Only studios were there, and like maybe Miss Kerala something was there, and I was not interested in going and be like, you know, I am that, I am this. I was not interested in that, but I was interested in RAM walking. So when I did this, instead of going for a portfolio and wasting 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh, and I just approached a friend and he promised to go around and click for couple of photos, and then we did that. I uploaded that, and soon after I got enquiries, like the enquiries like with just flooding it. So all I have to do was like sit and go through that and just do a random basic search on their background and then decide whether I need to work with them. So since this much of enquiries like flooded in, I was like, you know, I might be
then
good
you're
at something.
eventually in it, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, fine. And whatever that I did was like little bit different than whatever that usually people are like doing. It was not the mainstream thing. It was always like concept shoots or anything. So other photographers like were like actually following my page to see what kind of things were coming out of it, which actually made the page to go like it promoted and got followed by very different people from different streams actually. So I was exposed to like different ideas and what could I say, like, you know, I got inputs from different sorts of people. So in short, I got to know that I could try something and be something, because in it's a really short span of time. It was like within 1 year or 2 years. I was like really happy to be where I am right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's very short time.
That's good. That's good. People get that realization very fast. You know, when it clicks, everything is clicking in an order. This one is for me. How to direct a model. I think I've already said this before also. We're not gonna do that. Communicate. Just communicate. Communication is the most important thing. But once you know what to deal with, how to deal with the model, how to tell them what you need and things like that, and you have the control of the space that you're in, and you both are comfortable that you are communicating with each other, then it's quite easy. The first 10 or 20 pictures will be always mostly rubbish, and then it comes the good ones where you are
consider all that light check, makeup check,
light check,
post check, location check,
everything. You have to composing the background, everything goes into that play.
You know, the answer to all the questions is communication, because you know, even the stylist, makeup artist, anyone, if you're like communicated properly, this is what we want, and everyone does their best work, it's done actually. If you want some alterations, you can just suggest and then they'll improvise in anything, and you're done for the day. It's good, all good.
Directing models is not just directing the model itself. You have to direct other people around you as well. So, because you might have an assistant who is going to help the model with the dress and or with some of the props or the backgrounds, or someone is holding up a place in that location, things like that. So you have to be directing all of them around them so that you get that exact picture. I think the next video which will come out, we had a shoot at HAAWK Mountains, and we had a hell lot of fun doing that.
It was an adventurous shoot, we should say.
It was an adventurous shoot. We did a conceptual shoot with long dresses and up at the mountains.
I think it was 6 yards of satin or something.
Yeah.
We had to wear it and then hike.
On a rocky mountain. Yeah, I made them hike on that.
one single slip and you are dead.
Exactly, it was dangerous.
In fully satin gown and full makeup, dolled up, you'll be like dead.
Yeah. So that was dangerous stuff that we did, and it was fun. By the end of the day, we got like amazing pictures from that. I think I've already edited like 5-6 of them. They're happy with the images right now. More to come. There are hundreds of good images in that. I'm still trying to sort the best of the best out of them. So that's taking me some time. But otherwise, the next video that is going to come out with those images, it's going to be remarkable. So you should be wait out for that, and subscribe and share and like my channel as well. Let me put that out right now before you guys leave. This is a long one,
So we are done.
We are done explaining about all of the photography aspects. We are not done with the whole thing, but we will be doing more. I hope Reshma is going to be back again in Dubai. She's leaving in a few days, so When she's back, we'll be doing another shoot.
We'll be coming back with another episode.
If
If you like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe. That is more important. Subscribe, like, and share. Yeah. So that's that. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. I think I'll need to.
No, I really had a fun.
Yeah.
You guys have got at least 10% off.
Yeah,
Import.
I think they have got a lot of insight from what we all explained. I hope you have got some insight into how to start and how to communicate and how to build up your career in photography. It's not a hard thing, but it's not as easy as well. So learn, click, learn, click. That's how it goes. You click, you go back, learn from that mistakes, go back again, click. That's how you progress. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy your day and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.